All right. So something had happened. I couldn't see what was going on, but we gonna go and get started. Guys, this video I wanted to kind of come on here and just talk about life as a Uber driver, man, as a share driver, which I've done so, man, on two occasions now in my life, for various different reasons, man. Um, Want to kind of just give you guys the ins and the outs, man, the pros, the cons, um, the benefits, and the not so beneficial things about doing it. First off, man, I guess I can give you a glimpse into my life. Okay, so uh, what I do, like I get up. It's like a typical day, man. For me, I get up and my moves might be a little different than yours, man, because I've done this before, so it's stuff I understand. I think it's same. Some of this can be related to you if you're like a let's say you drive trucks or something like that, man. You might move a little somewhat similar to how I move. So I get up, man, and it's just a habit for me. I get up like 4 a.m. Right, I get about 4:30, right. And when I get up, I might, lay there for a second, try to gather my thoughts because you gotta get yourself together, man. Keep on getting out here and hustle like that. It's a hustle mentality. So I get up about 4:30, man. I do a little prayer, whatever, meditation, whatever you do, to kind of get yourself focused on your day, man, and get yourself, on a level that you ready to get out here. Then I'll go right into like my workout. So I do like a 30-minute workout every morning. Okay, 30 minutes. That's all you need, guys. If you don't work out, you will let this world consume you. You know what I mean? Consume you. It'll get the best of you. By the time you get to a certain age, man, you're gonna look like you 20, 30 years older. So it's important to get you a morning workout in. All right. If you do, if you don't, that's on you. I do a morning workout, 30 minutes, man. I might hit some push-ups, might do some quick squats, do some sit-ups and stuff, man. Because I'm trying to maintain. One thing that you'll have happen, man, if you don't work out and you continue to do this ride share stuff, like you'll get very comfortable being lazy. And I say that because you think about when you work at other jobs, and this goes for some jobs too. That's why they brought in a certain desk so they can stand up higher and you can stand up. Because if you sit down for long periods of time, guys, that actually makes your stomach muscles weak. Okay, this is why you see truck drivers with pot bellies because they don't exercise their stomach muscles. They're not walking, they're not moving enough. So you want to try to do something to keep your body functioning at somewhat of a decent level so that you don't get out of shape. All right, so I get up, I do my sit-ups, do my push-ups and things, man, and then I'll go ahead, jump in the shower, get myself cleaned up. Okay, I want to hit the street by 5:15, 5:30 at the latest. You really want to get out. Sometimes I get out by 4:45, 5, man. I try to rush through it and I get out there because you want to catch the morning shift. Like it's people that have to be at work by 5. It's a lot of people have to be at work by 5:30. You know what I'm saying? I find myself driving a lot of those same people, man, if you get out at the right time. Okay. The 5:30 rush, man, is real. If you catch that, you can usually ride the 5:30 rush right on into about 8:30, 9 o'clock. Because you got kids that's going to school, you'll get rides from kids. They need to get to school. You get people that are trying to get to work. What I found, and to each his own, but I'm just telling y'all from my experience what you want to try to avoid. Now it's different things that may factor in that can make it complicated for you to be able to move the way that you need to. But these are all like this ride sharing stuff is like time is money, money is time. And you might think you're doing good by grabbing a ride that may pay you like, let's say $40 to ride you downtown, ride you to the airport, right? But in actuality, you losing money. And the reason I say that is because let's say when you get up, you're doing the 5:30 rush, 5:30, 6 a.m. rush, you getting some rides, man. It's like people right there in that vicinity, right? It might be $6 there, $7 there, boom, boom. So you getting like $13 for maybe 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. That's cool, right? You do like two more of those, boom, you already at about $25, $30. Now, that'll be in just that little short condensed area. So you think about it, like time and travel, gas, you saving, right? You doing a little 3 mile here, 2 mile there, 3 mile here, 2 mile there. When you go and you take an airport trip, so now you gotta go, right? And I'm just speaking for somebody that's in Texas. So if you go grab somebody that needs to go to the airport and you take them about 5:30, 6 a.m., right? You going, and sometimes you might be in a surge area because in the morning you get surge areas. Okay, you go and take somebody from that area that you in, you run them all the way out to the airport. That airport run, it may cost you, let's say, 40 minutes time getting there. Okay, 40, 50 minutes time getting there. Now you getting the gas and everything else. Once you get there, if you like us, you got to pay for the toll to get in, right? Then you got to go in there, you got to get them situated or whatever. Then you leave up out of there. Your chances are at 5:30, 6 in the morning, you're not getting you're not gonna get a ride out of the airport. Okay, and this is a big mistake I see a lot of people make. A lot of people sit up there, and you talking from an experienced driver. Okay, you sit up there for one, and this is not everybody's airport, but for our airport, if you sit there for like 3 hours, then they charge like $9 to get out of there. All right, and some people actually sit there for hours waiting for a ride, and then chances are you might get a ride that only pay $10 leaving up out of there, right? So how much money did you make in 3 hours? You didn't make nothing. You actually subtracted from what you made. All right, you hustling backwards. So you get up there, boom, you drop somebody off. Now you got to try to get back to an area that's paying, right? And by the time you done roll all the way down there, now it's about 7:30, 8 o'clock. You might not get another good ride for a while. You see what I'm saying? Because now all of the rush, the morning rush hour is pretty much done. Okay. And then you might get one ride in the midst of all of that. And then you stuck in that. You see, now because you're stuck in the traffic trying to get somebody somewhere. It can be very misleading, man, for you to go and take an airport ride or a long distance ride at that time. And you might think you made something because you made like $40. But if you stayed in the same area, did the same thing you was doing, and then you spent another 40 minutes in that area, you probably double up. So you make a little more money. Okay. Instead of riding all the way to the airport on like a 35, 40, $40 ride, it don't pay out. And then chances are you may not get a tip or nothing. So, what I've learned is that if you can stay in your area, and the thing I don't like about Uber is that they don't allow you. Like I'm a platinum, right? So they don't allow you to have a condensed area to where you can work out of. So their areas preferences only allow for like large areas. So you really can't like really sit in a certain area for long. But what you can do, you can put your destination to somewhere that you want to be in that area, and it'll allow them to kind of keep you close because you won't go too far away to where you can't get back by that certain time. So if you don't understand that, go to your area your destination and put a destination for somewhere close where you want to be, and give it like 30, 40 minutes so they can't take you like an hour out somewhere else or 30 minutes that way, and then it's impossible for you to get back to make your time. Just drop the gym on y'all, so know that. Um, but as I was saying, no, I get up, man. I get my workout in, do all that, and I get out, and I try to stay in a close area so I can work that, man. If you don't put your preference on, you're gonna have to like reject some rides. Cherry picking can be good. Cherry picking can be bad, man. Some of you drivers that's been doing it a long time, you know how it go. With cherry picking, you typically can get some good rides when your acceptance rate is still high. Now they start playing with that algorithm once your acceptance rate drops below a certain threshold. Once that happens, you will get some crappy rides. Okay, some real crappy rides, and they will take your time for waiting for rides will increase. You will wait longer. Okay, if you drop, I don't know how that happened because I shouldn't even be logged in right now, but I'm getting a ride request. But you don't want to drop your acceptance rate too low, because once it gets so low, you're gonna have less money that you're gonna make on every ride, and you're gonna have you're gonna have more time between rides. So, and that's why I end up going with Lyft too. So I do Lyft and Uber because I did Uber like that. I killed my acceptance rate until where they started killing me on my money, and so I had to go over to Lyft and do both. So and that can be tricky too. Might do another video on that, man. But yeah. So if you try to stay in that same area, man, and they try to drag you out, and you deny it, you refuse some of those rides, then your acceptance rate will drop. So that can hurt. Um, what I found, man, is that if you can stay in a central area to a certain time, and if it's getting close to the time that the rush hour is ending, then you want to take your long ride. Take your long ride, get you to somewhere that's gonna be another area that's gonna be, a lot of movement, like a downtown area or something like that. Um, to keep your money flowing, like lunchtime hours, you want to be in like a downtown area, area where people go, they go grab food to eat. Like you can even dive into the Uber Eats or the DoorDash and stuff at that time. That way you keep your money consistent because like right around noon, not even noon, I would say 10, 11-ish, the rides will slow down. They'll slow down. But to compensate for that, what you can do is you get your Uber Eats, you get your DoorDash and stuff like that, and you'll have people that's getting morning breakfast. They'll be getting some of that delivered. You can get into that, getting lunch, early lunch. People getting that stuff set up, and then you can get in those areas also where people want to be dropped off somewhere for lunch. All right, so and then you want to be in those areas where it's a lot of like restaurants and stuff like that too, because those people that'll be leaving those places, they getting out getting lunch. You can drop them off back at work. So those are some things you can do to try and make sure that you maintain steady, consistent gains throughout the day, even when the rush hour dies down. Um, if you find yourself like me, man, like I found myself with a low acceptance rate, I had to get that up. What you could do is go to like a college or something, man. That's always good. Go to a college like on a Friday, Saturday, night or something like that. Bar areas. Go to those areas where people are like bar hopping. You can grab people, boom, boom. Run those people around in those little areas, multiple rides, man, will start to get your acceptance rate down. I know my acceptance rate at one point, man, I was down like 40 something. I was like 43% or something, man. Now my acceptance rate's like at 95%. So I got it all the way back up, man. They still be acting funny. But that's a good way to get yourself back where you need to be. Okay. So for me, I I found that like a lot of times now I try to take a break between mm, like 12:30, 1, 2 o'clock because it really slows down a lot. You'll find some rides, man, uh, but you really want to try and get you a little breather in between those hours when it's really slow. Okay, if you can find a long ride, great. Waiting at the airport, no good. It's no good. You can wait at the airport, man, for hours and not get a ride. Everybody's sitting up there waiting on the airport, and it's cool. I think at times you can make some good money if it's really like the airport is really popping, but sometimes it can be really slow. You can sit up there in that queue for hours, man, and then you can get the worst ride. You can get the worst ride, and what you'll find is that during the time that you sitting up there at the airport, you could have went out and made that much money just doing like short trips and just staying consistent throughout your day instead of trying to get caught up in that rat race with the airport. So that's how I've maintained a steady, consistent level of gains throughout the day without trying to. I keep getting these rides. Let me see something, guys. Anyway, I'm not gonna worry about that. I wasn't getting no rides a second ago, but now I'm getting the rides, man. And I'm not gonna do any rides and maybe do something after I get off here. That's like the second request. But anyway, so my day, like I said, I'll get back out, man, about this time. I think it's close to 3 now. No, it's 5. So yeah, like I'll get back out, man, do a couple more rides. Um, about 4 o'clock, man, you catch that rush hour where folks are starting to get off work. People that went in at 5 and 6, you start getting them off at 4. And I'll ride that, man. And a lot of times I might go until like 7 o'clock at night, man. So I find that's when the time is usually uh most people are still getting off. So by 7, you usually that's usually the time where it starts to die back down. All right. Plus, you'll get some airport rides up until about 6 or 7, because people catching that last flight. But after that, you really don't find a lot, man. It'd be really slow down. Friday night, Saturday night, yeah, you'll still get some action, but it's better to kind of get out there at that in those rush hour times, man. If you haven't done so, that's where you will make some money. Well, I found too, man. Sometimes like I get up random hours. I'll just go drive at like 4 in the morning, like 3, 4 in the morning. I just got up and just went out and just start driving, and I found it's easier, man. It's quiet, you know what I'm saying? It's not a lot of activity on the street, so you don't run into a lot of traffic. You get your rides, and a lot of times you might be one of the only people out there late. So you'll get a surplus of rides to kind of keep you busy. Um, the only downfall, pitfall with that, man, shoot, by the time it gets about the rush hour about 7, 8 o'clock, you be tired, ready to call it a day. But it's beneficial to do that, man. I don't mind so much the driving, because like I like being to myself, man. I don't mind meeting people. I talk to people, man. You're gonna run into your good guys, you're gonna run into your bad guys. Okay. Of course you get upset. You got people that don't tip. And you'll know who tips and who don't by the time you get out there for a week. You know where your tips is coming from, man. I tell you that. And you know what to expect from certain people. Um, I've had some good situations. I had some bad ones. I had some people that have tipped really good. I've people that have blessed me, and I've had people that have, like you'll have a perfect ride, man, and you'll think everything went well, and you'll get back to the app and find out they said you weren't polite. Because you can't please everybody, man. There's gonna be people that felt like, oh, you should have talked to them. It's gonna be people that just don't like you. It's gonna be people that are jealous of you. It's gonna be people that feel some kind of way, intimidated by you. You know what I'm saying? I've seen it all. Like I've seen people mad because like I had a dude and his girl in his car. And his girl was like flirting. She was trying to be flirty with me. I didn't have nothing to do with that. That's what she wanted to do. But he's the one on the app. So what is he gonna do? He gonna go in there and say something, bag me a bad rating because his girl was flirting. And oh, I'm not polite. How I'm not polite? Cause I didn't tell your girl to shut up and don't talk to me. Like you'll get stuff like that, man. You'll get people that want you to do stuff. They want you to drop them off at a certain place that's not on the app. They want you to stop at this gas station. All right, they want you to go out your way. They're not paying you. They're not tipping you. It's not on the thing, and you expected to do it. If you don't do it, guess what? They can give you a bad rating, right? And there's nothing you can do about it. They just say, "Oh, you weren't polite, or you were mean, or you know what I'm saying," which isn't true. But that can affect your bottom line. Cause now you can lose your 5-star rating. Because if you're like a 4.9, you want to be at a 4.94, I think at least. And if you drop below that, that affects your rides. That affects your pay. So somebody, just because they having a bad day or something, they can affect your pay. So you gotta watch out for that. You can't please everybody, man. Like I've I haven't had a ride where I actually got into an argument with anybody or anything like that. Haven't said nothing mean. I've never went out the way and said nothing wrong. I've always looked to help people get their bags and things. But you still gonna have people that just put a bad rating in for you. Okay. Some people just don't like you. Some people are racist. Some people they get in your car and they really don't like you just because of your race. And you ain't never did nothing, but they could have had a bad experience with another driver. You see what I'm saying? Some people, like, you could be driving perfectly fine, but to them, you're driving too fast, right? You're driving too fast, or you're cutting corners too close, whatever. Okay, they might have motion sickness and stuff and be in the back about the Earl, and they always like that, so they give you a bad rating. It happens, man. It's just something you have to deal with. But as far as like the overall experience, man, I've done well with it. I've done this, like I said, in two different spots in my life now. This is the second time I've done it. Just in between jobs and things like that. But the first time, man, I did really well. There was a couple months where I was making like 10 grand a month. Well, it was like I was killing it, but I was out there like them hours. I'm telling you, getting out at 4 in the morning, and I would work through those lunch periods, and I wouldn't get off till like 8, 9 o'clock the next that night. So that's a lot of driving, man. Like the mileage that I put on my vehicle. Ooh, I literally killed my Yukon, man. I killed it, ran it through the ground. So you'll find it like doing that, man. Shoot, it has its pros and cons, but once your car go down, your car is down. There is no coming back from that, right? You got it. It's like you want to trade it in and get something else before it gets to that point. But as much as you drive it, man, you depreciate the value. Okay, you talking about for me? I was putting like 5,000 on my car in a week. I kid you not. That's the type of miles. Like you look, get out there and drive. You do 8, 9, 10 hours a day driving. You see how many miles you put on your car in that little bit of time, man. Like I was maxing out, like doing 7 days a week. Easy, you can do 4 to 5,000 in a week. It's crazy, I know, but I've done it. Okay, and I still do it. I just look at my gauge, it's just moving. Like, damn, these miles is piling up. Just watching it go from 89,000 to 90,000, 91. Now I'm watching, this is in days. It's just moving, man. So yeah, you'll run your car down doing it, man. And you gotta think, man, shit. Dang, is this thing still throwing me rides? It must be time for me to get off, man. But yeah, you'll find yourself. Let me wait till this thing stop, man. So I might do some driving in a minute here. You'll find yourself driving, man. And you'll get tired. If you keep that consistently 4 5 hours of driving consistent, even if you take a break and then you get back in, drive a couple more, it'll wear on your body. It'll wear on your mind too, man. So you got to keep your sanity in the midst of it, man. Keep your composure. Find some things to motivate you. Have some goals set while you're doing it, man. Like I said, for me, it's just right now kind of patching a bridge in the spot, man, to something else. Um, I was making, like I said, I was making 10 grand a month at one point. That's when I was cherry picking. Hey, they killed me on the acceptance rate, so that doesn't happen no more. Plus, Uber has changed a lot of the pay structure, the compensation, man. So you can't do that no more. I'll be honest with you. You can't make 10 grand a month no more. You can't. And even if you do, it might start off like that, but it's gonna decline because your acceptance rate. Only way you can keep making 10 grand a month is if you don't lose your acceptance rate and you keep cherry picking, cherry picking, cherry picking. So you grab a $50 ride, $50 ride, you just keep on doing that. So mind you, when I was making that kind of money, I was doing that almost every ride. I was taking like a 40, 50, 40, 50. So you do 10 of them, you easily at $500. You see what I'm saying? And that's what I would do. I would cherry pick and find those and find those. And plus, I had the XL, so I got a lot of airport rides, and I would be like, I'd be in and out, But those days are over. I'll be honest with y'all. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to give you that video, man, so that y'all can kind of understand if you're just starting off deciding to do Uber or Lyft, man, kind of what to expect, kind of good route to take in your in the starting point of your driving experience is, yeah, get out there early, man. Work it late if you can. Get in the rush hour times, man. Do the lunchtime stuff. Do it a little differently, man, and just maximize your time. Don't always go for the bigger ride. Check to see how far is it going. Is it gonna take me to a bad, a back wooded area or something where ain't gonna be no ride coming out of there? Am I gonna end up in an area that don't nobody really pick up rides? Because you can get to an area where people don't do a lot of Uber and Lyft. It's like you could go to certain areas or people just don't have the money for that. They don't. You see people walking because they don't want Uber and Lyft. And then it's like, I think Uber and Lyft, I think they compensate for that too. I think they lower their price that they charging people in lower income areas and stuff. I think they do, guys. I've been paying attention to that. And you definitely ain't gonna get a tip from the areas either most times. So stuff to consider, man. But I just want to give you that information so y'all can make y'all decision for yourself and hope that y'all have a good experience. For me, it's been kind of in between. I'll say that.